Alright, so yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Splatoon 3. Mainly what I think is wrong with the game in its current state and what should be sort of fixed and some updates and whatever. Because I have a lot of opinions on it. I've played about 100 hours of the game by now. So I have quite a bit of opinions on what I think is going on in the game, what should be fixed. Let me just preface this, sorry, by saying that I'm not like a pro Splatoon player. Don't If some of my advice and tips or what the fuck ever I say in this video problems are something that pro Splatoon players disagree with, or that it's not meta or whatever, I don't fucking care. I just play Splatoon 3, and this is coming from a pretty casual perspective. I'm okay at the game. I have A rank, but I've mostly been playing like 300 fucking runs of Salmon Run. So I'm just gonna get into it. Nothing should really have to do with competitive. It's mostly just general issues with the game, though. So I'm gonna go into it. I'm just gonna go through every mode in the game and tell you what I think about it and what's wrong with it, what needs to be fixed, my problems, my issues, the small hang-ups. And first, we're gonna start with the story, which I'm gonna say right now, I don't have any complaints. Story's fine. Story was great. I think it was the best story mode. Octo Expansion was more fun because it was harder, but Splatoon 3 story mode was very good. The bosses were very enjoyable. I wish there were more bosses, but I really can't complain. It was a meaty. It took me about 10 hours, 10 and a half hours to like 100% it. A fantastic time. Story, they knocked it out of the park. I really think they upped the game, upped the ante. Fantastic. And then I want to go into Salmon Run, which I love. It's my favorite mode. I was very ecstatic to see Salmon Run Next Wave. It's my favorite mode in the entire game. I've played about 300 matches of Salmon Run total up to this point, and I really don't have too many complaints about Salmon Run. I think it's in a pretty good place. My only problems are some general problems that I have with the multiplayer, which we'll get into later. But mostly Salmon Run specific problems. I think number one, I think it's too easy to reach the professional ranks. Right now, it seems like you just play for a little bit, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get to professional part-timer through +1 to +3. That's generally where most of the players are hanging out, and I feel like that's resulting in some really awkward matchmaking, where like some players are like Profresh 3 and getting paired up with Profresh 1 or part-timer players, or like some people just get carried all the way to Profresh and they don't really know what they're doing yet. Like, I've played with a lot of players in randoms. I play mostly randoms, but I've played with a lot of players in randoms that really don't know how to kill certain bosses, or will just ignore certain things, or not use signals, or whatever. It's just clear that they're not ready to be there yet, or they have no idea how to fight Kohozuna. Like, they're just not ready to be there yet. And I wish we could figure something out there. I think it's just too easy to get to the higher ranks. Executive VP is fine. I've noticed the quality, ever since they got Executive VP, the quality of the games have gone up substantially. Everyone seems to know what they're doing for the most part. It's really just that Profresh 1 to 3 sort of range that's just sketchy. Like, there's just so much shit going on there. It's very obvious there's players of way different skill levels playing in those tiers together, and I don't think that's very great. It sort of brings the experience down because you can get on a losing streak and lose a lot of your points because you keep getting paired up, and you sort of enter this sort of elo hell where you're trying to get to executive, but every time you get to 3, you get paired up with some people who are like really not doing anything. And it's easy to track what other people are doing with the app. On Splatnet 3, you can see how many people are putting in eggs, how many eggs they're putting in. You can put in you can see how many times they've died, you can see how many bosses they killed, so you can track and confirm that your teammates are not helping out as much. And it's a little frustrating to get on a losing streak and then check those games and see like, wow, 2 of the people in my past 5 games killed 0 bosses. I can't even believe we made it to wave 2, you know? Other than that, my biggest problem in Salmon Run is Kohozuna. Kohozuna is... There's a lot of things with Kohozuna. Number one, I think at the higher ranks, he is just way too difficult to kill. I don't want to say consistently, because I don't think he should be able to be killed consistently, but I have had 300 games of Salmon Run, so I've run to Kohozuna quite a number of times. I've only killed him twice, both in random lobbies, but it just seems like it's random and really hard to actually kill Kohozuna, because a lot of times either your teammates don't really know what they're doing against him, or they don't understand that, like, and there's a lot of mistakes you can fall into. Like, I noticed that, like, if there's no gold eggs around, shooting his belly for a little bit can actually help, and shooting him directly with certain weapons like the Hydra Splatling or your specials can actually deal way more damage than just running around collecting eggs. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that as much. You sort of gotta do like a combo between the two: throw eggs when you can, shoot them when you can't. And that generally gets him to low health, but just finishing him off, it really takes a team effort, and as soon as someone dies, or like 2 people die, you're wasting tons of time, and it's really hard. It's a very tight window to kill him, and I feel like needs to be eased up a little bit. Maybe at higher ranks we can keep it like that, but like, as soon as you get out of the lower ranks into like that Pro Fresh Elo hell, oh my god, I don't think I killed Kohozuna once in there. I've killed him once, I believe, on like one of the lower ranks, probably Go-Getter or something. And then I killed him in Executive VP once as well. But those are the only 2 times I've killed him. Every other time, he just gets like to low health, and then like 2 people die, and then you're running around trying to revive them, and you don't do enough DPS, and it's a disaster. And speaking of Kohozuna, I think what's really messed up about Kohozuna, and the main thing that needs to be fixed, is the rewards you get from Kohozuna. I don't understand how the system works. I don't understand how you get more scales. I'm not sure if the scales are based off of how much damage you do, or your team does. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've never gotten any good gold scales from killing him. I've only gotten gold scales from losing to him. So it just seems really strange to me that I've usually get more rewards from losing to Kohozuna than I do winning. I won against him one time and I got 9 bronze scales. Like, wow. Gee, thanks. Like, that was sometimes it doesn't even feel like it's worth it to actually try and beat Kohozuna. Sometimes it just feels like we should throw to just get the quick scales and leave, because it just seems like a waste of time sometimes. It's just the rewards are not substantial enough to deal with a whole extra wave like DPS check. It just doesn't feel substantial enough. And plus, you need a lot of these rewards to buy this stuff in the Grizzco store. The Grizzco store stuff is very, very expensive. Like, I'm trying to get the Moz statue right now. It's 160 bronze scales. I only have 155. I'm still saving up. One of the Chum statue is like 4 gold scales. I only have 2. Like, Jesus, man. and as someone who has done 300 games of Salmon Run, I've only bought, like, what? I believe it was the pink slop suit? Yeah. Oh, no, the yellow. I have the yellow slop suit, and I got, like, 2 of the figures and, like, 1 sticker. And I don't really have enough to afford anything else I want right now. Like, I basically unlocked the 2nd tier of items, and I'm still saving up to afford more new items, and I've played 300 games of Salmon Run. Like, that's insane. They really want you to grind this out. It's too much. They need to make the rewards for beating Kohozuna much more impactful and plentiful. We'll move on from Salmon Run now. I just want to mention real quick, I know it's not a huge mode and not that people care about it, but I wanted to cover it because there was something that made me very upset about it, and it's turf mode, table turf battle. Table turf battle is very fun. I enjoy it. It's a very cute little side addition to the game. My main issue right now is there's no multiplayer, but supposedly that's coming. We've seen in data mines, apparently, that there's going to be online multiplayer for Table Turf, which, okay, perfect, that fixes my issue. But my main issue right now with Table Turf is it's all CPU battles, right? But you can't play them offline. I noticed this one day, my internet was out, I had an outage for about 2 hours, and I was like, okay, well, I can't really play multiplayer, I'll go play Table Turf and grind some of that out really quick. Which is totally fine, but I opened the table and it just said, nope, can't do that. But yeah, it's really upsetting that a mode that's in the game currently where you fight exclusively CPU opponents, you can't play offline. Like, Table Turf seems like a really fun mode to play like on like a car trip or on a plane or something, and just having that functionality be cut off entirely when you're offline is just like great. So the only offline thing you can really do is story mode. Table Turf would have been the perfect opportunity to add another offline mode. And it's just upsetting to me. There's no reason it should be like that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move into the multiplayer, which obviously has the most complaints in it. The first thing I can say is matchmaking is horrible. Everyone knows it. It's fairly obvious that a lot of, especially when the game launched, a lot of new players are getting matched up with a lot of pro players, and it's just, it really is still happening. Matches are a blowout a lot of the time. It's a little, you have to get up to the higher ranks in ranked mode for things not to be a blowout, and even in Turf War, it's just, it is a slaughter in Turf War, man. People dropping 25 kills in Turf War. It's wacky. And in addition to the matchmaking being horrible, let's get the elephant out of the room right away. Communication errors and disconnects are unacceptable, frankly, in a game, especially for the online service we're paying for. It's just so frequent. I mean, I'm sure you saw already in the footage. I just sat down and recorded this footage for like 20-something minutes, and I got disconnected. I got a communication error, I believe, one time. Not sure if I recorded that part, but I did get a disconnect during a match as well. And it's just really frustrating that it happens that frequently. That's my usual Splatoon 3 experience at night, is that I get into a lobby with my friends, we play a couple games, communication error has occurred, gotta remake the lobby, gotta remake the lobby, gotta remake the lobby. It's frustrating, and it shouldn't be there. And speaking of that, yeah, just the sheer amount of things that make you have to remake the lobby with your friends is ridiculous. This is the third game. Fucking get it together with your lobby system. I'm sorry. Like, number one, this one's a little bit of a lesser complaint, but not being able to claim your catalog rewards without breaking up the lobby. You have to exit the lobby and go to Harmony Shop to get your catalog rewards. Why can't I just click on that screen in my lobby between games that's right next to like the lobby tube thing, the screen where you collect rewards at? Put the catalog rewards there. If you're in the lobby, you can still get them from Harmony, but just so I don't have to exit the lobby and all that shit, just put them there. Because there's so many times I'm playing with friends and they're like, oh, like, I gotta go to Harmony real quick because I want to get my catalog reward. And it's like, oh god, now I have to remake the lobby again after that. And then like the next person levels up and they want to leave and get their shit. And then I level up and I want to leave and get my shit. And it's like just frustrating. And even worse, just having to remake the lobby for all these communication errors that occur. You're just doing it every fucking 5 minutes. And then also, this is unacceptable. The Splatcast news making you have to remake the lobby. I don't understand how this made it into the game, because okay, in this game, if you didn't know already, which I'm sure you do, they made the newscast that the idols do completely optional. You can just click in the stick and it'll automatically just listen to it. Or if you're in the lobby, you don't have to do that. It just automatically puts the text on the screen instead of having the video and stuff come up with all the idols and their animations and whatever, which is great. You can just sort of skip that, keep going, but the problem is that it still kicks you out of whatever you're doing, no matter what mode you're in aside from story mode, to tell you about the multiplayer maps and updates, and then you have to remake the lobby. So even if you're, and it leads to these awkward situations where like, okay, I'm in the lobby with friends, right? We're waiting for a game, and it's like, multiplayer maps and modes have been updated. Lobby's canceled, and then also it just respawns me in the lobby immediately, because since I'm in the lobby, it doesn't make me watch the news immediately anyway. So what happens is it just basically disbands my lobby for no reason. Like, why? Why can't the news just come up in the corner while we're in the lobby and while we're together? Why do I have to remake the lobby every 2 hours? So, on top of getting communication errors and having to remake the lobby every time that happens, you also have to mandatorily remake the lobby every 2 hours. So if you're having a really fun night and you're playing for like 2 to 4 hours, you're going to have to remake the lobby at least once or twice. And that's considering you get no connection issues. And it's the same thing. What's even more egregious is that it's in modes like Salmon Run too. Like, why in the Salmon Run mode am I getting kicked out of my lobby every 2 hours so I can learn what the Turf War and Ranked Battle maps are. Why? That information does nothing to me in the Salmon Run lobby. The only time it's relevant to me in the Salmon Run lobby is every 40 hours when they change the Salmon Run map. I should not have to remake the lobby every 2 hours because the other modes need to tell me what they're doing. Like, what the fuck is that about? It's so ridiculous. And that's really double frustrating when you're finally in like a ranked game with randoms, or like a Salmon Run game with randoms, and you found that the team that you're with is actually really good and you're on a really hot streak. You're doing really well. This team of randoms is actually working together really well. You guys are coordinating. You're getting all the wins, and then, oh hey, the maps have been updated. You guys can't play together anymore. And it's like, okay. Thanks. It's just fucking ridiculous. If I have to remake a lobby in Splatoon 3 one more time, I'm going to fucking Nintendo's headquarters themselves. I'm going to their lobby. I'm going to the Nintendo lobby themselves. And I'm just fucking shitting on the floor because it's ridiculous. And okay, another thing with the online, I've noticed the delay is worse than it's ever been in Splatoon. Wow, the delay sometimes is very strange, and I feel like it's getting worse as the game is going on. Like, the other day I was just playing matches, and I noticed, like, after I killed somebody, and I knew I killed them, like, the little icon that shows you splatted somebody wouldn't come up for, like, another, like, 3 seconds. Which is really obnoxious, because when I'm shooting at someone, I need that quick confirmation that I did kill them, and I can turn around and turn my back to the spot. I need that information. I need it because I need it quick and I need it fast. So I know, okay, this guy's dead. I can move on and cover my backside and whatever the fuck. If I don't get that confirmation immediately, I'm like, oh wait, shit, did I kill him? And then someone shoots me in the back because I didn't turn around in time. And it's like, dude, the information presented to you has to be quick and snappy, please. This delay is fucking everything up. And there's been times too where it's like I peek out, a sniper aims a shot at me, I go behind the cover, they fire the shot, and then I die. And it's like, okay, I definitely was not out of the cover at that point when he shot me, but the game just, the delay for the game on his screen showed me outside of the cover, I guess. So what the fuck ever, man. It's just, it gets a little frustrating sometimes when either you kill someone or you're killed and you just do not get that feedback until like 2 seconds later. And then by that point, it's like, okay, well, you've really impacted the game significantly. Like, games are not that long in Splatoon. They're like 3 to 5 minutes max, you know? And they could even be way shorter than that. So 1 to 2 seconds delay on whether or not you've killed somebody or been killed is very, very big. Very, very big. It needs to be fixed. That's unacceptable. Also, another quality of life thing. Can't change gear between ranked lobby matches. Why? So in Turf War, after a match ends, you get the option to change gear and keep going, right? You don't get that in ranked. So what happens is you get into a match of ranked. You have really good teammates, right? You have really good teammates, but you noticed you were dragging the team down, and you didn't play your weapon that very well. So you're like, okay, you know, well, this is my secondary weapon. I'll switch to my main weapon, and then we'll keep going. Can't do that. Can't do that. You have to close the lobby. You have, again, the problem is you got to remake the fucking lobby again. You got to close the lobby, switch your weapon, remake the lobby, or re-queue up. What the fuck ever. I don't understand why. Like, there's just so many things that make you have to stop playing the game and like do something stupid for like 2 seconds and then start playing the game again. It's honestly ridiculous. I am begging Nintendo, please add a change gear option to the ranked queue mode. It's very frustrating because it's not like it's only not there when you're playing with randoms. It's with friends too. Like, I'm playing with a full lobby of friends. We should be able to change our gear between matches. Why do I have to remake the lobby and ask all my friends to join my room again every time I want to switch from the fucking paintbrush to the 52 gal? I don't understand. It's really dumb. That's my main complaints about the multiplayer. We're gonna go into the Splatfests, because as you know, at the time of this video, the Gear versus Grub versus Fun Splatfest has just ended last night. And I want to talk about that, because now that we've experienced sort of 2 Splatfests with the pre-release and this one, yeah, there's a bunch of issues. Everyone's talking about them. I just want to mention them here. It's really annoying that Tricolor Turf War is basically the only new mode in the game, and as of this past Splatfest, they reduced the amount of times it even pops up. It was honestly way too much. Like, I wanted to play Tricolor because it's a brand new mode, I didn't experience it one time during this Splatfest. Not a single time. I got to Grub Ruler. I played well into Grub Ruler. And I didn't get a single game of Tricolor the whole time, despite being in the Tricolor queue the entire weekend. I never got a Tricolor game. It's ridiculous. I want to play the new mode, and it's kind of sad that you don't get to play that, especially since presumably this mode has a sort of limited time to it. After Splatfests are all done and over and the support for the game is done, I doubt you're going to be able to access this mode outside of like private lobbies. So I want to play the mode while it's hot, you know? I want to play the mode. But another thing I feel like, also tricolors are fucking crazy, weird, unbalanced. They need to fix that shit too. Everyone knew from the fucking pre-release, the ultra signal shit and all that stuff. It's wacky, but I don't know. I need to play more of Tricolor to get a better opinion on it, because I haven't played it that much. I only played it defending as Scissors in the pre-release, because I didn't get a single fucking Tricolor game all weekend this time. So whatever. I also want to say I feel like the Splatfests really encourage a lot of disconnects, and this is just an overall problem in Splatoon 3 as well. I feel like disconnecting and rage quitting is really common now. I see it a lot of the time. I've even seen it in like Salmon Run. If someone thinks we're gonna lose Wave 3, like they'll just drop out and we'll be left to fend for ourselves with 3 fucking people, which guarantees us the loss. In Splatfests, I feel like with the 10 times, 100 times, 333 times battles, it's really incentivized to just turn off your switch or whatever when you lose one of those, because the other team will not get those points, and it's like, okay, like that's frustrating. Because, like, it's like, okay, if I don't want the other team to get those points, obviously I'll just turn off my Switch. Like, even if I get that one warning gone, it's like, fuck you, I just prevented you from getting, your whole team from getting times 333 points this round. Like, that's huge. That's huge. Like, you can't do that. Something's got to be done about rage quitting in general, and disconnecting. The punishment's not severe enough, and also the enforcement of it is very weird. Like, I've gotten a warning for rage quitting, even though the game had a communication error, and it wasn't my fault. I don't understand. Whatever, it's stupid. They need to either provide some sort of punishment, or maybe add like a CPU player or something if only one person drops out, something, because right now rage quits just really drive things down, and sometimes you don't even get kicked out of a match when people rage quit or disconnect. I've played games against other teams where they were missing 2 players and we just curb stomped them because the game just decided, nah, we're going to keep everyone in the game, and you're just going to basically get this free win. It's like, oh, that's mean to the other team, but okay. Also, another thing about Splatfests is I feel like they just need to be balanced better in general. I feel like this really came to a head with this Splatfest, where it was pretty obvious early on that Team Gear was going to be the most popular team, and once we saw the numbers come out for the midway point, wow, it was especially at the end there, we saw, I think, what was it, 54% of people like were on Team Gear. I feel like the triple Splatfest idea, where we have 3 choices, is really going to not be as tight as the double choices from before. Because I just feel like there's always going to be a big loser now. It's never going to be like 2 sides and like one barely won and one of them lost, but they still fought good. It's like, no, I feel like there's going to be a really big winner, the runner-up, and then the last team is just going to be fucking sad. I mean, I was on Team Grub this time. Team Grub got 0 points in the Splatfest. 0 points! And we were the least populated, apparently, too, which is crazy. That just shows how... You know, it really tells you how popular Team Gear was. And the whole weekend I played, I only fought against Team Fun one time. One time I saw Team Fun. I got to Grub Ruler. I played like the entire weekend. I only saw Team Fun once. And if Team Grub had less people than Team Fun, I can only imagine that it was basically just Team Grub and Team Fun fighting Team Gear the whole fucking time. Like, I feel like the triple choices are making like things very, very wacky and unbalanced in the Splatfests, where it's just like, I don't know, man. Something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. They got to rebalance how either points work or something, because it just feels a little demoralizing picking a side, and sometimes it even can feel demoralizing picking the winning side. Like, I picked Scissors in the pre-release Splatfest, and then getting slapped on the defending the defending part of Tricolor was just a nightmare, and that pretty much caused Team Scissors to lose that Splatfest. Like, I don't know, it just feels like whether you're winning or losing in Splatfest, it just feels like is what I'm doing even mattering? Or am I just like fucking shooting ink into the void because there's 3 different choices, one of them is tied to one of the most popular idol, and the other, and my choice sucks. Like, I don't know, man. I can't really put it into words as well as I'd like to, but it's just a little frustrating when you're picking a side and it's just like very obvious from minute 1 that you're not going to win. I feel like that didn't happen as often in the previous Splatfests from Splatoon 1 and 2. A couple times I felt that way in Splatoon 1, but it just feels like it's exacerbated here with 3 choices, because it's like, okay, I'm picking the least popular choice with the least popular idol. I doubt we're gonna win. You know, whatever, man. But that's about all I got. Just wanted to throw some of my complaints about the game into the ether. I hope you enjoyed listening. Hope you enjoyed watching the subpar gameplay, especially that Clan Blitz match I did. That was fucking atrocious. The first match, though, I got like 20-something kills. That was great. But thanks for watching. Just let me know what you think about all this. Let me know what your problems with the game are. If you have anything different from me, anything I didn't think of, or if I thought of something wrong, if I sound wrong on something, yeah, let me know. I'd like to hear a different perspective on it. Just want to talk about video games, man. All right, see you guys.